Hello, girlfriend. Happy New Week. Welcome to another episode of Daily Igniter with Adenike, the confidence expert, your confidence expert. Today, I bring you a quote from Gabrielle Breinstein, and she had this to say: true abundance is not based on your net worth. It is based on your self-worth. Net worth, self-worth. So, what is your net worth? Your net worth is the calculation of the total value of everything you own less what you owe. That is your total assets less your total liabilities. That is the calculation of your net worth. Now, what is your self-worth? Your self-worth is the intrinsic belief that you have in yourself that you are inherently valuable. Your self-worth is the understanding that you know that you carry worth, you carry value, and your self-worth came with you right from when you were born. You didn't get your self-worth from what you are doing right now. The job that you do, the amount of cash in your bank balance doesn't determine your self-worth. And that's what Gabrielle is saying to us today. That true abundance is not based on our net worth. It is based on our self-worth. So for you to increase your confidence barometer as an individual, as a person, you need to understand that you are intrinsically valuable. You are inherently valuable. Your being valuable has nothing to do with your economical level. It has nothing to do with what you wear. It has nothing to do with the type of car that you drive. But instead, what drives you? What do you have on your inside that drives you, that makes you know that you are a person of and that you carry value? That is where true abundance lies. Now, let me give you some steps that you can use in getting to know your self-worth, right? Or for you to understand better what your self-worth is all about. And then the first one will be for you to shift your mindset. I want you to redefine your metrics. I want you to start thinking in the area of the values that you carry as a person, the kind of input that you bring to a conversation. I want you to stop thinking along the line of the amount of money that you have in your bank balance. Yes, that also counts, but there is more to your life than that. There's more to your life than the amount that you have, whether in terms of cash in your bag, in terms of funds in your account, in terms of the shares that you have, or in terms of the type of kind of shoes that you wear, or the type of bags that you carry. There is more to life than that. So you want to start thinking about the kind of input that you bring to conversation, the kind of anchor that you give to people. You know, if you are the type that your friends know that they can rely on you, they can count on you, that's a lot. Not many people have such people around them. So that you are an anchor for people. You might not see it in terms of cash, but it is a metric that you can count on, that you should count on. So the number one thing will be for you to shift your mindset. The number two thing will be for you to change your habits. So when you go on social media, what do you look at? Sometimes some people go on social media, they are happy when they begin. By the time they are leaving, they are depleted, they are sad, they are thinking that they don't even amount to anything. Why? Because they have gone to the socials and they have read sometimes the lives of other people. And I said sometimes because at other times it's not really putting out what they are doing, but sometimes it is actually fake, right? And so if you go there to go get inspired, that's one thing. But if you go there to go compare your life with that of other people, then I want you to stop doing that. I want you to change that habit. If you are following people who are always measuring the worth of their lives by the things that they own, the Bugatti they drive, the Ferrari that they own, then you need to stop following such people. No. You have to stop following such people. So you have to change your habit. So the first thing is for you to shift your mindset. The second thing is for you to change your habit. And then you need to build social boundaries. I spoke about you being an anchor for someone, for your friends. Yes, that's good. But you should also know that you are free to say no, and know that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain to people around you why you are saying no. You can just say no and it ends there. So you need to build social boundaries around yourself to help with your own mental health, to help with your own emotional health, for people around you to also know that, okay, yes, I can always be there for you, but there are times when I need to be there for myself. So building social boundaries is another one. And then I also want you to know that it will be good for you to also segment your life roles. So you want to have personal portfolios, individual portfolios. The way we have investment portfolios, you also want to have individual portfolios. How do I mean? So when you look at investment portfolios, we talk about having shares, having stocks, having bonds. So if you were to have shares, I don't want to begin to mention some organizations now, some companies now, but you can have shares in, okay, let me mention my organization. So I run Adenike Foods and Products Limited. I run Madiba Beautiful Homes and Garden. I run Madiba Agro Estate Limited. I run Polo Ati Ewa Women Empowerment Initiative, and also run Climate Change Action. So those are 5 organizations. If I were to have shares in all these organizations to 100%, I can have 20% in each of them. And then if the share of one org is not doing well, if the shares of Adenike is not doing well, the shares of others, will be doing well. So that is the idea behind having an individual portfolio, having a personality portfolio. So perhaps you are a mom, you are an author, you are a baker, you are an uncle, for a friend, and maybe you are also an employee somewhere. Now, it is not all the time that you'll be all good around all 5. So you might want to say perhaps 20% of your life is based on being a mom, 10% is based on being an author, another 10% is based on maybe being a writer, another 20% is based on being a baker, and then the final percentage is based on being the employee where you are. And so perhaps you're having mommy blues. So you having mommy blues means that you are probably emotionally down at that moment, but other aspects of your life, they are still up and doing and thriving. So that's what I mean about having individual portfolio, having personality portfolio, building your life along certain roles so that the whole of you will not come crashing at the same time. That's what I mean about you segmenting your lifestyle. And then we have the temporal framing section. So I've spoken about you shifting your mindset. I've spoken about you changing your habits. I've spoken about you building social boundaries. I've spoken about you segmenting your life roles. Then we have the temporal framing section. What do I mean by that? So that's which is causing you some trouble now. Perhaps it just happens that your bank balance is depleted, and because your bank balance is depleted and you don't have few cash in your bag, you just feel unhappy that you don't have funds, and it's really affecting other aspects of your life. So the temporal framing section says when you are 90 and you are sitting on a rocking chair and you think about this that you are feeling now, perhaps no money in your accounts, how will your 90-year-old feel? That's the way you should feel now. That's how you know that whatever it is that you are going through, that you're passing through, is temporal. It is not permanent, right? It is temporal. And so because you know that it is temporal, you go ahead to rise up and face whatever you need to face, do whatever you need to do to become you again. So today, I'm telling you that your true abundance does not rely on your net worth. It is not about your economic value. Your true abundance lies in who you are. So once you know who you are, the intrinsic value that you carry, the inherent value that you carry, once you are okay at that level, you'll be able to attend to whatever it is that life throws at you, and life will throw a lot at you. And so that's where I'll be stopping today. That's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me today. Till I come your way again next week, I remain Adenike, your confidence expert. Bye-bye.